Never did I think in all of my days of watching Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z that in Dragon Ball Super I'd be seeing a full-on Hercule Mr. Satan episode and witnessing him going Super Saiyan in his own fantasy. It was just, this episode is craziness, it's ridiculous, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was just an overall fun episode to watch, and just getting to see a full episode actually center around Mr. Satan. Like, no matter what type of Dragon Ball fan you are, you got to appreciate the character of Mr. Satan because he brings a lot of levity, brings a lot of comedy. He's not an overall serious character. He just brings a lot of comedy into the world of Dragon Ball. And I just got to say, this is probably one of the funniest episodes of Dragon Ball in general that I have seen in quite some time. It's not one of the best episodes ever created, but it certainly is one of the funniest. It is definitely a slice of life related episode. This is episode 15 of Dragon Ball Super, and all I got to say is, this episode had some things in it that I thought I would never see. The first one being Mr. Satan going Super Saiyan as he's explaining to the crowd how he defeated Beevus, you know, his version of Beerus, in this battle for the universe. I thought that was a really funny moment. And then also witnessing Piccolo shopping with Chi-Chi. Like, I saw that, I busted a gut seeing that, because I never would have thought that Piccolo's character would be reduced to the fact that he is actually shopping with Chi-Chi. He is like the mom and dad of Gohan in a way, and just seeing him shopping with Chi-Chi, I was like, oh my god, Piccolo, what did they do to you? But overall, it's a very simple episode. This review is probably not going to be very long at all. It's a very slice of life oriented episode. It starts off with Goku and Gohan. We get to see them at home. You know, Goku wants to go train. Chi-Chi doesn't want him to, so he's going off to work. And then on Gohan's front, we see him with Videl. He's taking very good care of Videl, you know, making sure that she doesn't like over exude herself, doesn't overwork herself, you know, because she's pregnant with their child. So he decides that he's going to do all the cooking for her from now on, which I think is very nice. It's nice to see Gohan stepping up and actually doing stuff for his woman. Very, very nice. But then the majority of this episode centers around Mr. Satan, and in classic Mr. Satan fashion, you know, him building up this lie about how he protected the universe and the world from this great evil that was about to destroy it, and then him trying to find a way, like building atop this lie, just building and building and building until he's kind of just desperate to get out of it, and eventually it ends up working out for him in some type of way, which is absolutely baffling to me. But in this episode, you also get to see classic Toriyama tropes and just classic goofs. Like, I got a Ginyu vibe from the space people that ended up coming down in this episode with the space ambassador, and they look kind of like creatures or like dogs or whatever. And just their dance that they did, I got like Ginyu Force flashbacks back from the Namek saga from that. I got a good laugh. I'm just like, oh my god, this is classic Toriyama stuff. So, you know, with Mr. Satan, you know, just talking about all this big lies about how he basically saved the universe from Beevus, this Beerus persona that he ended up making up. You know, he has to challenge, you know, the hero of the world Snack to a battle, and then just like him trying to get Gohan to come fight for him. He's not answering. Vegeta's not answering his phone, and eventually Goku shows up and actually ends up almost getting into a fight for Mr. Satan in order to fight this challenger. But then Chi-Chi and Piccolo end up seeing him. Chi-Chi is like absolutely livid. She is angry as hell. The fact that he's even sparring when he's supposed to be working. And I got a good laugh too of just watching Goku tell Mr. Satan to punch him in the face. And he punches him in the face. Doesn't affect Goku in any way, but he just floats off. And the line he gives, I just was like, oh my god, this is so funny. He goes to his tractor and he's like, oh god, Mr. Satan, no, oh my tractor, and just flies off with his tractor. It was just such a weird episode overall, and just watching, you know, how these creatures that end up coming down challenging Mr. Satan are scared of B, Mr. Satan's dog, and they end up going back into their ship, escaping, going away, and then the episode just ends with everyone believing now that Mr. Satan is the strongest man in the universe, and he ended up saving them once again, and shows them it's like, hey, he didn't just save the world, he saved the universe. Classic Mr. Satan, like, skits just throughout this entire episode that I just remember watching him when he got introduced in the Cell Saga, and then when he was heavily used within the Buu Saga. This is just classic Mr. Satan at his best. And, you know, and like I said, this isn't the best episode, but it's not one of the worst. It's definitely a very funny episode. You just sit back, relax. You don't really overthink about the episode. You just sit back and enjoy the content that this is bringing you. And I just thoroughly enjoyed it. So if you guys watched this episode, did you get like a fillery type vibe from it? But did you also laugh and enjoy at this episode? This is episode 15. This is kind of the filler or buffer we're trying to like work into the new arc, which will be the resurrection of F arc. So I'm really looking forward to get into that arc. So hopefully that ends up happening sooner rather than later. But just give me your thoughts overall about this episode as a whole, your thoughts on Mr. Satan as an overall character, and did you find this episode funny in general? So leave your thoughts in the comments down below. And if you guys are keeping up with the dub of Dragon Ball Super and just want to talk about it as it comes out week to week, feel free to subscribe to my channel. I would love to talk with you guys down in the comments below. So that's going to be it for this review. It's going to be very short, so I'm really looking forward to the next episode. Hopefully it's not going to be another filler episode and we go right into the next arc of Dragon Ball Super. So until episode 16 comes out next week, I'll talk with you guys later. All right, guys, see you later.